10:18 a.m., the radio goes silent. Not the normal silence, not the desert quiet you've learned to live in. This silence is different. This silence has a name. You set the receiver down, slowly, carefully, like it's made of glass. The young corporal beside you is staring, waiting for an order, waiting for you to do something, anything. You look at your watch. Swiss. $12,000? Bought it the day you hit your first million? The second hand is still moving. The world just kept spinning. You turn to the corporal and say, in a voice so calm, it frightens even you, due to comms interference, we lost the patrol. Log it. And that's it. That's all Marcus gets. A log entry. But we need to go back. Back 2 years. Back before the watch. Back before the offshore accounts. Back before you became this. Because you weren't always this. You were 26 years old when you first put on the blue helmet. And you believed. God, you actually believed. Not in a naive way, in the way that physically hurts your chest when you think about it now. You read the mandate cover to cover on the flight over. You memorize the protocols. You actually thought one man with a blue helmet could stand between a child and a bullet. The recruitment posters said you'd be a beacon of hope. You thought that sounded exactly right. Second week on deployment. You're walking the outer perimeter of a civilian protection camp. You see a little girl, maybe 7, barefoot. She's frozen in the middle of a dirt trail, staring at something in the earth. A glint of metal. You don't think, you just move. You sweep her up, carry her shaking body to the safe zone, and hand her a green apple from your ration pack. She looks at you like you're invincible, like you are genuinely, truly a guardian angel. That feeling was better than anything. That was the man you were, but that man didn't understand the math. The math comes for you slowly, drip by drip. You're standing at the checkpoint, 16 hours a day, watching corrupt politicians and diamond smuggling elites glide past in blacked-out armored SUVs, rolling black holes. And you're eating vacuum-sealed rations that taste like cardboard and quiet desperation. $1,200 a month, that's your salary. That's not a salary. That's an insult wrapped in a paycheck. Then one night, cracked screen, scanned letter. Your father, the man who taught you to throw a baseball, the man who drove 4 hours to see every one of your graduations. His heart is failing. Bypass surgery, scheduled. But the insurance has run dry. The hospital billing department has sent a final notice. $45,000. Pay by end of month, or they stop the care. They stop the medications. They stop his heart. You call your mother that night. She tries to sound strong. She's been crying for 6 hours. Your father gets on the phone. His voice is thin, like paper. He tells you not to worry. He tells you he's proud. He says saving strangers is God's work. He says goodbye with a certainty that turns your blood to ice. You hang up, dark barracks, completely alone. And something shifts inside you, something quiet and permanent. You realize the system isn't broken. The system is a meat grinder. And your father is next in line. 2 weeks later, 2 a.m., the desert is dead silent. Headlights on the horizon. A blacked-out Toyota Hilux rolls up to the boom gate. A man steps out. Local militia fixer. No gun, no threats. Just a practiced, soulless smile. He places a manila envelope on the counter. It lands with a heavy, definitive thud. You open it. Crisp. Unmarked. American hundreds. $15,000. His request is simple. 2 cargo trucks need to cross the demilitarized zone. All you have to do, the only thing you have to do is lift the gate and suffer from temporary blindness for exactly 8 seconds. Your conscience doesn't whisper. It screams. You hear the oath you took. You hear that little girl laughing with the apple. You look at the money, then you close your eyes, and you see your father's heart monitor. Flatline. You tell yourself the lie, the one that lubricates every atrocity in human history. You whisper it. Just barely. Just this once. The system is already broken anyway. Your hand is shaking as it reaches for the green button. You press it. The gate lifts with a grinding hydraulic moan. The truck rolls past, suspension groaning under God knows what. 1, 2, 3. You stare at your boots. 4, 5, 6. The driver gives you a casual salute. 7, 8. Taillights, darkness, silence. You just traded your soul for 8 seconds. Here's what they don't tell you about crossing a moral line. The dangerous part isn't the guilt. It's that absolutely nothing happens. No lightning, no consequence, no cosmic reckoning. The money clears your family's debt in 48 hours. Your father calls from the recovery room, groggy, alive, smiling into the camera. He calls you his hero. And something in your brain rewires permanently, because the idealism doesn't just fade, it gets replaced surgically with something cold and transactional. When the fixer comes back 2 weeks later, $30,000, 15-second delay, you press the button before he finishes the sentence, and then it accelerates. Within 6 months, you aren't looking the other way anymore. You are the operation. You figure something out, something brilliant and horrifying. A white UN transport truck is the ultimate invisibility cloak. No local police, no border patrol, no rebel checkpoint would ever dare search a vehicle flying the United Nations flag. It's a free pass through hell. You start loading weapons under pallets of bottled water, assault rifles beneath UN blankets. And to keep yourself sane, you do what every monster in history has done. You strip the language clean. Landmines become universal terrain sentinels. AK-47S become unregistered kinetic assets. You don't move weapons. You manage portfolio allocations. One afternoon, you watch a column of black smoke rise from the horizon through your binoculars. A rival militia, completely wiped out, using rockets you supplied the night before. You feel a flicker of nausea. You immediately log it as liquidating a toxic market liability. And you move on. $4.2 million, 1 year, but you aren't alone. His name is Marcus. 10-year veteran, Ohio. His wife sends him hand-knitted scarves. His daughter, 6 years old, draws him pictures of stick figure families holding hands. She draws unicorns in neon crayon. He tapes them to the dashboard of your shared vehicle. Marcus is everything he used to be. He breaks protocol to hand out his water rations to the starving kids on patrol. He takes off his sunglasses so they can see his eyes. He laughs with them. He trusts you completely. He sees you as his brother. He tells you his fears, shows you his daughter's drawings, asks your opinion on what to name the dog they're getting when he gets home, and you smile. While your encrypted burner phone sits cold and heavy in your pocket, here's what you don't know yet. The fixer has been watching Marcus too. He flagged him 3 months ago. Sent a message to the militia leadership. They've been building a plan, not just in case Marcus becomes a problem. They've been building a plan in case they need to use you. But you don't know that yet. You're still telling yourself you're in control. The illusion shatters on a rainy Thursday night. Marcus stays late in the logistics tent, runs a routine cross-reference. GPS mileage logs against the handwritten checkpoint registries. Cold math. It doesn't lie. 42-mile discrepancy, same trucks, same nights, always when you're commanding officer. He doesn't go to the commander, he comes to you first. Dark barracks, rain hammering the tin roof like war drums. He doesn't yell, doesn't reach for his sidearm. He just looks at you. That look, the look of a man who has just realized his brother is a stranger. He puts the printed logs on your mattress, his voice is cracking at the edges. I checked the GPS 3 times. I stayed up all night hoping I was wrong. I wanted to be wrong. He tells you he knows about the weapons, the militia, all of it. Then he mentions his daughter. He asks how he's supposed to look her in the eye, how he's supposed to tell her he stood next to a man who sold the bullets that killed her imaginary friends. I'm giving you 24 hours. Turn yourself in. Confess. Salvage whatever tiny shred of your honor might still exist. He walks out, and the panic, pure animal primal panic, seizes your chest. You can't breathe. Here's the moment you need to understand, because everything that comes next, it hinges on what happens in the next 60 seconds. You pull out your burner phone. You start to dial the fixer, then you stop. You put the phone down. You pick up the official command line instead. You start to dial the sector commander. You're going to confess. You've decided. You're going to tell them everything. Let it all burn down. Your father is alive. That was the whole point. It's done. You'll face what comes. Your finger hovers. Then the burner phone buzzes. A message, 2 words. Answer it. You stare at it for 5 full seconds. You pick up. The fixer's voice is ice, calm like a budget meeting. Marcus is an operational hazard. You will neutralize the problem tonight. Or the militia neutralizes both of you. And we start with the girl in Ohio. Line dead. You stand there in the dark. This is the moment you realize something. You were never in control. Not for a single day. From the moment you pressed that green button, you were theirs. The $15,000 wasn't payment. It was a leash. And tonight, they're pulling it. The next morning, the sun rises. Blood red. You sit at the command computer. A digital spreadsheet. Unit designations. Patrol routes. Marcus is assigned to Sector 2. A quiet buffer zone. Routine. 3 hours ago, military intel flagged a massive rebel ambush buildup in Sector 4. Dug in. A kill box. No-go zone for unarmored vehicles. It's right there in the system. Flagged in red. Marcus's patrol is unarmored. Your finger hovers over the keyboard. You hear Marcus's voice. I'm giving you a chance to be a man. You almost close the laptop. Then you think about his daughter. In Ohio. You change one digit. Sector 2 becomes Sector 4. You click confirm. One keystroke. That's all it takes. 10:05 a.m. Marcus's voice, clear and professional on the radio. Delta Patrol. Departing Checkpoint Alpha. Heading east. You don't respond. 10:14. The radio explodes. Not like in movies. This is real. Raw. Panicked. Human voices breaking apart under automatic fire. You hear the bullets hitting sheet metal. You hear Marcus fighting to keep his voice steady. Command, this is Delta Patrol. We are pinned down, taking heavy effective fire. Request immediate air support. Repeat, immediate air support. The operators in the tent turn to you. You stare at your watch. Marcus's voice again, louder. The professional veneer cracking. He screams your name. Do you copy? We need air support now. Where are you? A younger soldier in the background. A wet, gurgling scream that cuts short. Then, a narrow moment. Chaos, fading for just a breath. And Marcus, just Marcus, breathing hard. He's not talking to command anymore. He's talking to you. His voice shudders. Just tell my daughter. Just tell her I... A burst of automatic fire. Silence. 10:18 a.m. You place the receiver back on the hook. You look at your watch. You turn to the corporal. Due to comms interference, we lost the patrol. Log it. You have just murdered the only man who believed in you. While he was saying goodbye to his daughter, now here's the part that will hollow you out. 2 days later, Geneva. Polished stage, cold air, marble floors. A general with a chest full of medals pins a silver valor medal to your chest. He praises your heroic composure, your unwavering leadership during the tragic, unforeseen loss of your unit. You shake his hand. Dry. Firm. You smile for the cameras. And while the flashbulbs pop, a thought arrives. Quiet, surgical, devastating. The intel that flagged Sector 4 as a kill box. It came in exactly 3 hours before you reassigned Marcus. You never questioned where it came from. You just used it. But military intel that specific, that perfectly timed, in a region that volatile, it doesn't just appear. Someone gave it to them. You think about the fixer's voice that night. Calm, like a budget meeting. He already knew what you were going to do. Because they set the board, the ambush in Sector 4 wasn't reported to trap Marcus. It was manufactured to give you a reason to send him there. They didn't just own you. They turned you into the weapon. You weren't protecting yourself that morning. You were executing their plan. On their timeline, with your own hands. You were never the mastermind. You were always just the tool. You file for honorable early retirement. First-class flight home. Champagne over the Atlantic. Now you're 46 years old. Miami penthouse. White walls. Designer everything. Ocean view. You have everything. And every single night, without fail, the waves outside your window turn into radio static. And you hear him, just tell my daughter. You've tried to find her, you know. The daughter, Emma. She'd be 8 now. You've typed her name into search bars at 3 in the morning and then closed the laptop. 'Cause what do you even say? What do you say to a girl whose father died calling your name? One morning, an envelope arrives. no return address. You open it. Inside is a crayon drawing, a stick figure family holding hands, a unicorn in neon colors, and at the bottom, in shaky, 8-year-old handwriting, one sentence. Daddy said if I ever got lost, I should look for a man in a blue helmet. He said you would save me. You sit down on your pristine white floor, and you realize the cold, rotten truth. It was never about the system being broken. The system worked exactly as greed intended. And you walked right into it, wearing a blue helmet, thinking you were a hero. You traded your soul for 8 seconds of silence. And Marcus? Marcus died in 10, and this silence is deafening.